Continuing on from yesterday's little vlog about our so far 4-year journey of living full time in a motorhome. We said we'd go and have a look at the logbook.
Yeah, trip log it's called, this book. And it came from Amazon. It was a present from Steve's sister and brother-in-law. Yeah, when we first started, and it's the best thing ever.
It is. So
it's made me do it, but
it really works well. We haven't filled up much of it.
No.
That much, and there's like that much to
and
go.
That's filling up is 200 stops in total, isn't it?
199.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could put one page for each trip. Really, that's how it's laid out. But
it's laid out with all your trip details and then a journal.
Yeah,
but the way Wendy uses it is she puts the dates where we went, and then where we went on each line. Maybe uses 2 or 3 lines per stop, but then goes down and just fills them up. And then we've got, so far, in all the vans we've had, the caravan, the coachman pastiche, the Heimer, and now the auto trail, we're up to 199 stops, including this one. So the next stop will be our 200th stop in 4 years.
It will, yep.
Of the full-time lifestyle. We didn't start off as full-time. It started off as a bit of part-time, getting away for a couple of weeks, and then, as you know, when we bought the caravan, we went out for maybe a week or 2, and then it went back into storage. So I paid for 3 months storage up front, and then it went back into storage for 2 weeks, and then we went to get it, took it out, and we never went back to storage.
No, never went back.
So you know, I paid 300 quid for storage for no reason. We used it for 2 weeks.
He gave us some money back, I think, then, didn't he?
No, he gave us there was £100 key deposit. And we got that £100 back, but no. Anyway, so the European adventure started, and we're looking in here on the 14th of February, if I can find it. Right. Can't find it now. 14th of February.
And it's further on here. There. There it is, 14th of March.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 14th of March.
The 14th of March.
Thank goodness we got it written down,
yeah. And we got the ferry from Newcastle to Imuden.
Yeah.
Because we were going to go, well, we went to Sweden because our youngest son and his wife were having their first baby.
No, darling, their second baby.
Yeah, their second baby. I'm glad Wendy's on the ball, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so that's why we
yes, they're having their second baby 2 years ago. So when we go back there in a few minutes, in a few days, he'll be having his second birthday, or we'll be there. We'll be there, yeah.
And we're going to be there hopefully for the oldest grandson's birthday.
The 5th birthday, yeah. So
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a very joyous time.
Oh yes.
So my view of going to Europe was I was extraordinarily nervous.
Yeah, you were. My God.
Driving on the right-hand side of the road in a right-hand vehicle, and something this big.
Yeah.
I'd not really been used to this that much. It's not difficult to drive, I will say. It's a very high driving position, very easy. It's a very soft vehicle to drive. It's a simple. Gear changes are not heavy, clutch and brakes are not heavy, and it accelerates well. So it's really good. And the only thing about it is the overhang after the rear wheels is quite big. It's about 3 foot overhang, which can catch you out because it does tend to swing out as you're turning corners. So onto the ferry, and then off at, well, it was an overnight, wasn't it?
Overnight, very good. Recommend it, yeah. no problem.
16-hour journey.
Dog-friendly cabin, of course.
We got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and well, that was. We had the sat nav, which was having a bit of an issue when it got to Imuden. It didn't really know much. It was kept recalculating different roads, and it was like, oh God, you know.
We didn't think about planning a little route off the ferry, and there's lots of roads. My God, did we get stressed? And that was the worst time, I think. We have never been that stressed since, have we?
No.
Well, maybe we have, but
no, I don't think we have. That was
so stressful.
Driving in a different country on the wrong side of the road, not knowing what direction you're going.
No, and the ferry port, wasn't it? And we didn't look.
Out the ferry port. But eventually, after taking a couple of wrong turns and turning around coming back, eventually we saw a sign for Newcastle in Imuden, near the port, which gave us a lot of comfort. Right, okay, well, we know we know Newcastle's that way, so we're going that way, so we're not going back. So that was all right. And then Wendy got into the maps, and you know, because you're very good at that, finding the route and keeping a check on the sat nav, don't you?
I do love to, because I love looking at maps. It's my passion. Sometimes I just look at maps and we're not going anywhere. I love maps. I love Google. What's it called on the phone?
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Yeah, I like looking at that as well. Yeah.
The street views
and things. Yeah, I like it.
And Wendy keeps a massive world atlas as well.
Oh yes, I've got lovely. Doreen Kingsley. It's so big.
Seeing where different countries are, and you know.
I think that was the one book that we did keep when we downsized.
It's massive. Anyway, so I had no need to worry about the driving over there, because you know, people had said things like, well, watch out you don't go the wrong way round roundabouts, because it's like you can do that, you know, and it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'm so worried, but it's actually, well, I dare anybody to drive the wrong way round a roundabout. It takes a massive effort. If you really did want to, you could do it, but you'd have to purposely swing across the road into oncoming traffic and go the wrong way round. It really is difficult to do. I've not tried it, but you know, it's just like it's easier just to keep on the right and go round the right way. It's just like there is one issue I did have for quite a time, and still do occasionally, especially if I'm tired, and that's traffic lights, left-hand turn. So you're in the middle of the road, so you're in the left-hand lane, so you got oncoming traffic on your left, and you're sitting on the right, and I have to like really remember to go further than I really naturally want to, and go right across and then turn left. So I have a bit of a muscle memory problem with that, because turning left is like sharp normally in England, but but I don't really have that now, and and driving over here is like super simple.
Europe is much easier to drive than the UK.
And why do you think that is?
UK is a very small country, and there's so many people, and the roads are so small, especially down south where we usually go. Horrible.
The roads are tiny.
I'm frightened now on the M25.
There's a lot of traffic, and everybody's so aggressive.
Yeah, they are, such a rush.
Over here, especially in Spain, it's very normal to, especially out in the rural areas, it's very normal for people to stop their car in the middle of the road and have a chat with somebody, and people to queue up behind them or just go round them. You know, it's just nobody's in too much of a hurry. They are sometimes, and if you go out early in the morning, maybe people trying to get to work, then you know. But there's massive amounts of more space, isn't there? The roads are huge. Yeah. And you know, you might
all over Europe, I think that's the case. And I would say the only thing that's don't try to drive through the big cities, because that is very confusing, and because we don't understand all the road signs and everything, and it's stressful. So
don't drive
just go round them, and you'll be laughing really.
Yeah.
Be very happy.
You can go to the little villages out in the wilds, but that's
and on
great.
the motorways, there's plenty of places to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not stupid time. Like if you stop in a motorway service in England, you've got a time limit. I think it's 3 hours for free, or 2 hours.
2 or 3 hours.
But if Steve's tired, we can stop there for 6 hours, and in the day and have a rest, a meal. There's no rush.
And, I mean, I know
that's so important. Why do they rush people on motorway service stations in England when they're tired? They move them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were when we're driving up through Germany. So we came out of Imuden, eventually found our way with Wendy on the maps and the sat nav and so on. So found our way up, and we were stopping sort of several times just to have a drink and a little, might have a 15-minute power nap, as it were, just to keep me going. And there's a lot of, especially in Germany, there's a lot of motorway stopping points where there's a toilet block, parking spaces, and they're sort of raised up on, so you drive up to them and then park, and there's sometimes picnic benches around, and very, very, very civilized indeed, and they're not busy at all. You might find 1 or 2 people in them. Those places, probably not a good idea to stay overnight in those, because you can get broken into and robbed, and so you're quite likely to be in the motorway service, especially in the sort of service station, the petrol station places. So we never do that now. No. We'll always turn off of a motorway, go to a little village, and find an Air or a Stellplatz.
Yes,
because if you're out in the countryside, you'll find that you're less likely to get broken into. So, and I think that's the mistake we made more recently at Plata de Oro, a bit north from here. We were near an extraordinarily busy town, like 800 metres walk from the city lights, as I like to call it. Big shops, lots of people, and that's why we were unlucky to be broken into.
Well, we would go there again, but we wouldn't be so. We got more precautions taken now.
Well, we got deadlocks on the door, and ways of securing them.
And we wouldn't leave things lying on site in the front of the van. It's all with us now.
Yeah.
You learn the hard way, don't you?
So our trip up to Sweden was pretty quick. We went from Imuden to Wasby Gulf, which is near Stockholm, and we only made a couple of stops in between, didn't we?
We did. That's all we stopped. Yeah.
We arrived at Wasby Gulf late in the evening on a Friday. But we were in a hurry because of the. We were on a 3-week holiday, so we only had 3 weeks. So we wanted a couple of days to get up there, a couple of days to get back, and maybe a couple of weeks in staying there. So which worked out well. Yeah. But when we got to Wasby Gulf, it was all closed up. We hadn't booked it. We just looked on the internet and thought, oh yeah, they do camping. We'll just go. And eventually, so we parked there Friday night. I found an electric hookup to plug into. Plugged into it. It was working. Got all that going. Yeah. We weren't on the campground. We were in the car park, which was across a little service road. So I'd run my electric cable across the service road and walk through snow that was 10 inches deep. But we tried to contact people at the golf club on the Friday night, Saturday morning, afternoon, Sunday morning, and eventually I went to the office on Monday morning. They were bound to be open on Monday morning, and they said, well, we don't do camping anymore because we had trouble with the chemical waste, and it just too much of a problem, and we're converting all the electric points into electric car charging.
Yes.
So it's just, very, very good. But the owner of the golf club said, well, because I explained, when we come for the birth of our grandchild, we got a son, and we'd be away most days and just sleeping here overnight. and he hadn't actually noticed that we were in his car park.
No.
And he was very surprised when we said we were plugged into your electric hookup, you know, and he said, "Oh, I thought we turned all those off." He said, "Don't worry, I'll make sure they're left on." I said, "But what else do you need?" It's like, "Oh, right, okay, well, somewhere to empty the waste, somewhere to have a shower, somewhere to go to the toilet." And he said, "Well, we can't do the waste because we've got a problem with that. But I'll sort out a shower and a toilet for you," which he did. And he came over and he told us, we could go down to his physiotherapy suite and use the facilities down there, and a toilet just across the other side of the car park, which was perfect. So that worked well. We stayed there for 2 weeks, and he didn't charge us a penny, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't charge
brilliant.
us any money.
Yeah. So
and he was so pleased for us when we told him about the baby being born. Such a nice man.
we did get we got a visit from the police.
Oh yes.
2 armed police people, one man, one woman. 2 armed police people turned up at 8:30 in the morning. Knocked on the door. I opened the door in my dressing gown, and of course they speak perfect English. He said, "You know this is not a camping ground?" "Ah, yes, I do." And he looked surprised. I said, "But we have permission from Anders, the owner." "What's his last name?" "Oh, actually, I don't know. I've just spoken to him 2 weeks ago, and he said we could park here for 2 weeks. Anyway, we're going in 2 days." He said, "Oh, okay." He said, "But we have trouble with gypsies."
Yes.
And then something quite nice. He said, "But it doesn't look like we're going to have any trouble from you." I said, "No." It's like, So that was nice. So he took down all our details, his sort of name, registration number of the vehicle, and all that. And he said, "I'm going to check with Anders." I said, "Yeah, well, he's in the office. Fine, no problem." So we didn't hear from them again.
No.
And but it was a fantastic journey. We got the bug, really, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We got
That's
Europe was then not a mystery to us. We'd driven quite far, and we'd had that experience, and we wanted to do more of it, which led to us effectively leaving the job almost immediately when we got back.
Yes.
So. I think we were going to leave in October anyway.
Yeah.
But we left in April because of all the different situations that were going on there. So
we never looked back.
Never looked back. Thank goodness. Yeah, I'm glad we don't do that job anymore. I think we enjoyed it while we were there.
Yes.
Yes. For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So, but what pleases me most, I think, is when we get messages from you people out there saying, "Oh, you've inspired us to do more, to go out, you've inspired us to buy a motorhome, you've inspired us to get a caravan, you've inspired us to travel, you've inspired us to take early retirement." That really warms my heart. I think I'm so pleased that we're able to be inspirational for people. I love that, and show you what it's really like to live in a motorhome and travel.
Because we're just ordinary people, when we're not highbrow, or we don't. No. We just sort of wing it a lot of the time, don't we? we don't have masses of money. No.
We earn a little bit, and thank you to you people out there. For buying some of our merchandise and donating money to us, so we get a bit of money that way, from very, very kind people, and we get a very small pension, we earn a bit of money, and we survive through that way as digital nomads. I think they call us digital nomads. So I do a bit of sort of internet work sort of stuff. But it is so nice that we've been able to help.
Yes.
Definitely. And as Wendy says, we're just ordinary people. We like to show you the ordinary things that we do, and that's why sometimes I feel a bit fraudulent in terms of, well, what can we show you today? Because we do a daily video, and what can we show you today? It's another boring day in paradise, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we've just, you know, Wendy's got a cup of coffee. I've got a cup of my chamomile tea, which is good for my guts apparently. And we're just sitting there chatting away, and it's, you know, it is. That's as exciting as it gets. I mean, we had we went to a flamenco singing thing at the restaurant. I tend not to film that sort of stuff because of the copyright issues with the music and stuff like that. Because I've got in trouble a couple of times from YouTube on that. But yeah, so, you know, we're really, really pleased that we're able to bring you along with us. And
that sort of thing we went to. Most of the people, they'd booked a table and were having a meal, but we were able just to go and we just bought a drink and we enjoyed it as much as they did, you know.
The drinks, they served a few bits of tapas.
Yeah.
That was nice, you know.
Really lovely,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's it for this video, and we're going to see you again tomorrow because we're back on the daily video thing, and we'll tell you a bit more about where we've been and a bit of more of a review of the places, and we'll talk about staying at French Airs, at the Airs in France, which are superb, in the next video.
Because one thing I'd like to tell you about is a lovely place to stay if you're going to if you need to see a vet before you go back on the tunnel. So recommend that one.
So tune in next time for all of that
yes,
and more, I suspect. See you again soon. Bye bye for now.
Bye.